Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My beautiful name is Millie Akuzuha, and in this video today we are going to discuss the relationship requirements as it relates to UK spouse and partner visas. What your sponsor or your partner must have to sponsor you, what you will need to prove, and how you will need to prove it. I've been getting lots of questions from all over of how my visa was approved. And yes, guys, my partner visa was approved within 4 days, guys. And yes, I'm here to share my experience, not as an immigration advisor, but from my own understanding and from what I get from gov.uk. So guys, if you are not wedded, it is possible to apply as a partner and you will be granted your permission for as long as you provide what they need and you prove your relationship. Then yes, your visa will be approved and within time. So before we continue, if you are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. All you need to do is to make sure that you hit this red subscribe button here, turn on your notification bell so that each and every time I get to upload a new video, you will be among the first people to get notified. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always tuning in. Thank you so much for always coming in, and I appreciate you a lot. So let's head on to our video for today. Before you do your online application, you have to make sure that both you and your partner are 18 years and over. Yes, we don't want kids coming to start applying for partnership visas and yet they are under 18. Okay, so let's head on to what your sponsor or your partner must have before they can sponsor you. The first one is they have to be a British citizen or Irish citizen. They must be present and settled in the UK. For example, they have indefinite leave to remain, settled status, or proof of permanent residence. They must be from the EU, European United countries, Switzerland, Norway, Ireland, and have pre-settled status. They must have started living in the UK before 1st January 2021. If not, they must have a Turkish business person visa or Turkish work visa. If not, they have protection status, leave to remain as a refugee, permission to stay as a refugee, or a person with humanitarian protection. They must have permission to stay as a stateless person. Something else is that you and your partner must intend to stay together in the UK permanently after you apply. Not applying to move as a partner and then when you reach there, you are apart. Then definitely you'll have some questions to answer. So let's head on to what you will need to prove. And from here, I'm going to show you how you will need to prove your relationship with this person for you to be allowed to come to the UK and stay with your partner. So you will need to prove the following: that you are in a civil partnership or marriage that is recognized in the UK. Second, you have been living together in a relationship for at least 2 years when you apply. You see, guys, that's easy. You can easily prove that you have been in a relationship for 2 years. Can't you? You have so many things you have done together as a family. You have so many things you have done together as partners. And they only need proof for 2 years. If you have the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, it is up to you. But as long as you give them proof that you have been together for 2 years, that's it. Your visa is approved. As simple as that. Another thing you need to prove is that you are a fiancé, or proposed civil partner and will marry or enter into a civil partnership in the UK within 6 months of arriving. You will need to prove you have been in a relationship for at least 2 years when you apply, but you cannot live together. For example, because you are working or studying in different places, or it's not accepted in your culture. You also need to prove that you have a good knowledge of English and you meet the financial requirements. But guys, I can assure you that these things don't apply to everybody. I never did any English tests, and I never had to provide or prove my financial status because everything was catered for and I never went through that. They apply to some, but some they don't. And if you can't prove this, then guys, you still have another option. You have a child in the UK who is a British or Irish citizen or has lived in the UK for 7 years, and it will be unreasonable for them to leave the UK. You will be granted your visa, or your visa will be extended, then you will be allowed to stay. Something else you have to prove to the immigration is that you are not in any other relationship, or your partner is not in any other relationship. And if you were, you have to provide the evidence that you are no longer together, or that relationship doesn't exist. This means you have to either give the divorce letters, or you have to provide the death certificate of your previous partner to show that the other relationship ended. You can also be allowed if you prove that you are planning to marry or become civil partners within 6 months of arriving in the UK. But with this one, you will not be allowed to study or work in the UK during your engagement time. You will need to apply for permission to extend your stay in the UK when you marry or enter into a civil partnership. If approved, you will have the right to work or study in the UK. And this is where we have all been wanting. How to prove your relationship. So how do you prove your relationship? That you have been in a relationship with your partner for more than 2 years. The immigration has not been there during your process of relationship, but they need you to prove to them that yes, we have been together. And you need to prove with documents. You need to prove them with any document which is going to convince them that yes, we have lived together for the past 2 years, or the past how many years, and we are still together. That is when they can approve your visa. And guys, you can do it. You can prove your relationship even without a wedding certificate. I never provided any wedding certificate because we are not wedded yet, though I'm hoping that it happens soon, but not yet. And yes, here I am. I am right now in UK, and I reached here with a partner visa which was approved within 4 days, guys. Within 4 days. Yes. Let's see what you need to provide to prove your relationship. Send evidence that comes from the government, a bank, landlord, utility provider, or a medical professional. You need to show the immigration that you have been together, and maybe you have been sharing bills. You can use that. If you have been sharing bills, maybe power bills, rent bills, you have any bills which have been coming in the names of the two of you, then you can use that document actually to apply for your visa and show that you have been together for all that time. Another thing is that send evidence that confirms your relationship with your partner. For example, that you live together, share expenses, or are married or in a civil partnership. What you can use to do this is a marriage certificate or civil partnership certificate. You can use a tenancy agreement, utility bills or council tax bills, confirming that you live at the same address or pay bills together. You can use a bank statement from a joint bank account, or confirming that you live at the same address. You can use a letter from your doctor or dentist confirming that you live at the same address. And guys, you can as well just use your photos and your family photos, and those will sort you out. And as well, if you have a child together, or if you have children together, then it makes it easy because you'll have to use that as your evidence to prove your relationship. So for me, we actually used photos, just photos, because I love photos, we love photos. So all those photos we were taking during our relationship, from the start time we met until the time we were applying for our visa, I used photos. We gave them photos of when we were having family fun, of when we would be home, of when we would be going for school visits, of when we would be taking kids to school, all those kinds of photos. And they are the ones which backed up my application for my visa, because I just had to provide my evidence that, guys, this is what I have. And I gave them the birth certificate, and they saw a happy family which has been together. They didn't have any reason to reject my visa, so they had to give me, to approve my visa. And guys, I was so happy. So it is possible. You can do it even if you don't have a wedding certificate, you will do it. If you do not live together, but you have been in a relationship for the past 2 years, maybe you have not been together because of the studies, or you have not been together because of work, or maybe your social cultural whatevers, then you'll have to prove in a different way. You have to show that you have been communicating regularly. The first thing, your regular communication, either by mail or by WhatsApp messages. So you'll have to provide the messages and the mails that you have been sharing to show your communication. And you have to show that you support each other financially. If your sponsor who is in UK has been sponsoring sponsoring you from whichever country you are or whichever part of the world that you are, then you need to provide that, ensure that he or she has been sending you financial support through your bank account statements. You can provide that to show the support that they have been giving you. You have to show that you care for the children that you have. That is, if you have children, that you are caring for the kids together, even though you have not been living together. And you will also need to provide evidence that you have spent time together as a family. You know, on holidays or at events, when you've been together, the family fun, or you are in weddings, or you are in school, attending school functions, or you are somewhere. Those are some of the things that you need to put so that they can strengthen up your documents for your visa approval. I hope that you have learned something, and if you have, please don't forget to leave a like for this video. And if you have any question, I encourage you that you come to the comment section. Let us discuss, let us learn from each other, let us share, and let's make our dreams to come to reality. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.